Arabia.
Yes.
In Isaiah 63, he fights Edom.
Yeah.
Yet you see the Western mindset takes that word Edom and converts it without any evidence to become Rome. Why? Because some old tradition or rabbinical tradition that says that the Roman Empire, extended from an Edomite lineage.
Well, let me ask you this. You talk about this in your book, but explain a little bit, because a lot of people focus on whoever was the destroyers of Jerusalem or the destroyers of the temple is where the Antichrist will come out of. And, everybody says, oh, it was Rome. Well, actually, based on your book, you say it was the 10th Legion. Can you talk a little bit about this?
That's right. When Westerners think of a European Antichrist, and they will use Daniel chapter 9, but they will use it in a general sense without looking and basically putting together the exact verbiage of what is said in Daniel 9:27. And what it says is very clear: the people of the prince who is to come.
Yeah.
Well, let's stop right here. People of the prince, the lineage or the hegemony, the progeny or the descendants of the prince who is to come, that is the Antichrist, who establishes a 7-year peace treaty. Remember, it says in verse 27, he will confirm a covenant. He is who? The prince. This prince is the Antichrist, because it can't be Titus.
No.
So it's saying the people of the coming future Antichrist, those will destroy the temple. If we go to find out who the people were, it's very clear. We can read the book of Josephus and find out who they are.
Yeah.
That was Legion 10, Legion X. And that was composed, of different countries. Westerners don't understand. When they think Roman, Roman army, they will think, oh, okay, Italians, coming down from Italy to fight. No. The Roman legions were composed of the very nations and the very peoples that was composed of the structure surrounding the areas that they're in battle with. So if they're fighting in the Middle East, they're using the Eastern legions. Let's not forget, Titus was the commander of the Eastern legions of the Roman Empire. In other words, the Eastern people of the Roman Empire. And we can see them, who they are. Well, there is cohort Arabia, Arabs, cohort Syria, Syrians, cohort Thracia, Turks, cohort Petronium, Petra. That's the Arabs again.
Yeah.
So it's the mixture of Arabs, Turks, and Syrians
who made up
these legion. So what it's saying is that the people of the prince, see, the people, these progeny. Now, this will fit perfectly with the little horn who comes from the Greco. These were the Grecian areas of the Roman Empire. So they will match perfectly with the little horn. It'll match perfectly when we look at Revelation chapter 13, the body of a leopard, that's the Grecian, the feet of a bear, that's the Persian. Iran today, we hear the mess today coming from Iran. We hear the threats coming from Iran. The Babylonian mouth of the lion, that's in Revelation chapter 13. Now, Western analysts do not want to accept a Eastern composite of the Antichrist or the beast. So they will divorce these as geographical entities. What they will say, well, the beast is as fast as the leopard. So they will allegorize the composite of this beast in Revelation 13. Well, he stomps like a bear. He speaks like a lion. Okay, if we want to allegorize it as the speed of the Grecian Empire or the stompiness of the Medo-Persian Empire, then we have to also allegorize the statue. The head of gold. We have to allegorize the 10 horns. And these are not allegories of something. These are giving us geographic composites of where the beast entity comes from. So this is the problem with Western analysts. You can't use a allegoric interpretation here and allegorize Revelation 13 while you give the literals of Daniel 2 and so on and so forth. Those all match. All of these pictures or photos or composites that are given to us from the Bible really match perfectly with each other. They are very harmoniously put together by John and by Daniel to give us exactly the composite of this Antichrist, in which we see the spirit today. Who is the liar? He who denies that Jesus is the Christ. He is Antichrist that denies the Father and the Son. This is very crucial. The spirit of Antichrist, as it was from the beginning of the gospel, it was there, you know.
Yeah.
It will continue till the end. Antichrist must deny the Father. Yes. Antichrist must deny the Son. And that's what this book makes harmoniously, puts it together, puts the entire puzzle of the Bible. It is a work that is the first time that has ever been done in history. For someone to sit down and say, hey, let's take the entire Bible and put the whole prophecies together and put the whole composites together. Let us follow strict hermeneutical timelines. If we study hermeneutics, it insists that we take the literal parts of the Bible and then superimpose these literal parts of the Bible upon or on top of the allegoric parts of the Bible. When in the West, the biggest mistake that they do is say, let's study Bible prophecy. What goes on in the Western mindset is this: oh, we are going to study Revelation, or maybe we're going to study the book of Daniel. You know, that's not what the studying prophecy is. Studying prophecy is to study the entire Bible, hermeneutically, taking all the literals. Once we take all the literals in the Bible, we see where Christ fights Muslim nations. We superimpose them on Revelation. We superimpose them on the statue of Daniel 2. We superimpose them in Daniel chapter 7. You know, we superimpose them in so many where the beast has the claws of the brass. Most, if you ask any Western analyst, you know, most Western analysts say, what is the claws of the brass? What are you talking about? It's not even, it's bringing out verses from the Bible that are rarely ever discovered or even discussed. You know, it's put on the sidelines of Bible prophecy teachers. No one's looking really at those verses. And they're very crucial verses that will become the cornerstone of the Bible on the second coming. The nails of bronze, there are 10 fingers on the beast. And the bronze is always, or the brass, is always a composite of the Greco parts of the Roman Empire, in which we see exactly the trouble that is coming today from the Muslim world.
Interesting, interesting. And
Colossians 4:17 says, "And say unto Archippus, take heed to the ministry which thou hast received in the Lord, that thou fulfill it." You know, Christians like to sit around and wait for a ministry from the Lord. But I believe every Christian has the same ministry from the Lord, which is to reach our family units. The Bible tells us to teach them daily and diligently, our children, teach our children daily and diligently, but I believe this could be expanded to be newer Christians or younger Christians in the faith. And of course, we're to teach them verbally with what we say, but we're also to teach them with what we do, with how we live our lives. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we are to love God, keep the commandments, and love others the way Christ loves us. And you know, as we do these things, the Lord may give us an additional ministry. For instance, He gave Noah the ministry to build the ark and preach repentance. But Noah did not forsake his first ministry to his own family unit. And we know this is true because Noah's entire family followed him into the safety of the ark. So God not only preserved mankind from the flood, He preserved the family unit. So this is very important. Well, today the family unit is under terrible attack. Parents are absent. Parental authority is constantly belittled and undermined. Alternative lifestyles are accepted as normal and are even legal in some states. So now is the time for every Christian to take our ministry to our own family unit very seriously. Take heed to the ministry we were given, that we fulfill it. Love your family. Teach them the truths of the Bible. And by God's grace, they will follow you to the safety of Jesus Christ, just as Noah's family followed him into the safety of the ark. I'm Barbara Henderson, and I'll see you next time on This Week in Bible Prophecy. God bless you.